Won't be long before high school and college students will be graduating.
And they'll be facing a very different career landscape than it was 2 years ago. Paige Batcha, recruiter and executive search expert from WCCO, joining us this morning to talk about job hunting and hiring. Paige, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So Paige, what are the biggest things that have changed over the past 2 years when it comes to this job hunting market?
The landscape has really changed. Employers are giving employees a lot more grace. And so it's dependent on the employee to really tell their story from beginning to end and really focused on the future.
So what do you mean by that? In what way are they extending more grace?
Yeah, so they are allowing, the gaps in people's resumes as, time for themselves, for their family, and really looking upon that in favor rather than them stepping away from the workforce. So telling their story is important.
Paige, one of the other things that we've heard is that maybe if you don't have that particular experience for that particular job, that it's okay, that they're willing to teach people, which do we see that as a good thing for some of these younger workers coming in, some of these recent college grads who don't have a ton of experience?
Absolutely. So employers are looking at the intangible skills. So they're looking more in favor of having an optimistic view, having empathy, and also having just a strong work ethic. But what really lends value is having advocates out there telling your story and help being able to close that gap if you do have one.
Good, yeah. Don't be afraid to tell that story, right? I think when, pre-pandemic, when people were looking for jobs, you were trying to conceal that, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I was consulting or I was doing this. And you can go ahead and fess up, I guess. Is it easier to find a job right now? I mean, we keep hearing story after story about how desperate employers are for workers.
Yes, so the pool of candidates has expanded. The ability to find a job has changed and also has allowed, from a remote standpoint, you're able to really work wherever. And so you're not just seeking for a job here in the Twin Cities, but you also now have the country available to you. But what's important is really understanding what you're looking for and staying true to what you are passionate about. Otherwise, it can be overwhelming.
Right, and not being afraid to tell them that too. I think for a long time you didn't want to say, well, I want to, have some flexibility or I want to work remotely. Now these organizations are offering that as a way to attract this new talent.
Yes, absolutely. And so I really do recommend individuals to have an advocate, have individuals in their corner, maybe put together your own board of advisors who can help navigate and keep you true to what you're seeking. But then also not being afraid to have individuals like myself, a recruiter who gets to know you and can tell your story on your behalf.
Paige Batcha, a recruiter with WCCO. We appreciate you. Thanks, Paige.